mathematically safe in the Premier League. They've beaten Aston Villa and West Brom remain in the Championship. I think that deserves a couple of cans, don't you, my friends? Absolutely wonderful. Welcome back to the Talking Wolves podcast. As far as podcasts go, I feel like this is going to be one of the more enjoyable ones. Of course, I'm not alone. I'm Dave by join. I'm joined by Dave. This is my first can, by the way. This is my first can. Joined by Dave. Dave, how you doing, mate? Feeling a little bit worse for wear, aren't you? Just had a late night last night.
Yeah, mate, and enjoyed the bank holiday a little bit too much. Was meant to just go out for 1 or 2 beers to watch the Man U game. Ended up getting in at 3:30 this morning. So, no, I'm all right though. You have a good birthday, Matt?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was good to see you on Saturday, mate, before the game. Had a couple of points in bank, didn't we? And enjoyed it. It was a quiet one.
£6 a pint though, Jord, by the way.
Oh my God.
Sunak's Wolverhampton, that is, unfortunately.
Wish he's Britain.
Yeah, £6 a pint. I could not believe it.
It's a disgrace, that is,
especially in Wolverhampton.
It is in Wolverhampton.
Yeah. Bank's quite nice. I've never been in there before. Dave gave us a bit of a biopic on why it's called Bank and, its previous heritage, which was nice. I felt like I really experienced it, proper immersed myself.
I've not been up there. Is it is it the old Diffusion?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, where Diffusion was before, yeah. Opposite Charlie's Fish Bar. Woo.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie's Fish Bar's had a few special mentions on this podcast, hasn't he?
Just always shut down since I mentioned it, to be fair. So
selling Benton and edges at 4:30 in the morning with 5 specials. Are you in the doghouse, Dave, coming back at that time?
Nah, to be fair, Lib was out as well. So Lib said,
"No, it's a free pass, isn't it? It's a tap-in, you've got to, win,
yes, exactly.
When in Rome. Of course, I'm not alone as well. Joined by Dave, but also Jord. How are you, son?
Yeah, you know what? As bank holidays go, Wolves beating the Villa putting the passports away, Albion missing the playoffs. It's been good, but I've had the shits for about 48 hours, so it's not exactly the best of bank holidays from a personal point, from a health point of view. But I'm fighting on. This lighting's doing nothing. I look quite pasty as well, so I do feel like that. I do look a little bit big. So yeah, I'm strictly on the water for now. So
you need to get yourself on a 9-minute holiday, mate. You're looking a bit pale.
I know. At least I've lost about 3 stone. It feels like, which is good.
I think you're giving it to me. What caused your stomach bug? Is it the missus cooking?
I don't know, honestly. So I went to the game and then went to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And as I was saying to you, Matt, before the pod, I've got to go back and watch it Wednesday because I probably missed about 1/3 of the film, either shitting or throwing my guts up in Odeon. So, that was my Saturday night.
I shit myself at the game as well because I saw Jose Sarr keep a ball within the width of the fucking pitch. No, he did all right the weekend. Let's talk about the Villa game then. Dave, when I spoke to you in town before, we were having a chat about what you think, and you were like, yeah, we'll beat them. Was that just kind of, I know they struggle at Molineux, but were you that confident?
Yeah, I was. I just felt that I knew we'd get a reaction after the Brighton game, but I have no, and this may come back to bite me on the arse in the future, but I have no worries about Villa, especially coming to Molineux, and we've got good form at home, we've been playing well, and I could have so easily been wrong on Saturday, but I just had a very good feeling going into the game, and went into it, and I thought early goal once again at Molineux, which has helped us massively in the past few home games, and sort of sat on that. We weren't incredible, but we limited Villa and we got the job done, and you could see with Lopetegui's reaction at the end how much that meant to the team.
It's becoming quite the feature, isn't it, Jord? A goal in the first 5 minutes. Same against Palace, same against Sevilla, but it was a far cry from the Brighton performance.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see that we turned into a bit of a fortress, and 7 home wins out of 9 now, isn't it, as well? So it's Lopetegui's done a fantastic job since took over. Like I say, Molineux being a fortress, being a difficult place to play, like it was when we first came up under Nuno. It's good to see. The blemishes on those records, Bournemouth and Leeds, is pretty shocking when you look at some of the teams we beat, but you can't win them all. And our thought Saturday was, we ground it out at times, but, I thought we were fairly comfortable, to be honest with you, as well, at the same time.
Were you surprised to see couple of changes, Jord, or do you think there would have been more changes?
I thought maybe a couple more. Like I say, I said last week, I'd have probably played Bentley over Sarr because I just felt like Bentley deserved to go, to be honest with you. And, Sarr's future potentially up in the air. And the one thing I will say about Sarr is when he was called upon, he made a couple of good saves. But he stopped trying to fanny around with it out from the back. He's realised, I think the message from Lopetegui was as soon as it comes to you, just get it up the pitch. There was no sort of passing around the back when it comes to Sarr. It was clear your lines, and that worked well. And Neves was played with Lamina, and I thought it was unlucky that Gomez got dropped, but I thought them two in the midfield, Neves and Lamina, were unbelievable. Can't fault it one bit.
We've said, Dave, that probably one of the reasons that Neves hasn't moved to a big club already is because he hasn't got legs. But last two home games against Palace and Villa, he's motored on, hasn't he? He's looked like he's very leggy.
Yeah, no, there are the odd occasions. I always remember. I think it was when we beat Everton a couple of years ago at Goodison Park, and I remember he was getting the ball and taking it past people and stuff. I was like, hold on a minute, where has this energy and pace almost come from Neves? So I think he has got it in the locker, and those two were fantastic once again. They dropped the poor performances. Lamina, probably his worst game in the wall shirt was against Brighton, but he was phenomenal again on Saturday. And go back to Jose Sarr, one of the things that surprised me a little bit with Villa was they just weren't pressing high enough. They weren't preventing Sarr from allowing Sarr to play it short, basically, if needed. So I think that helped us a little bit. His first 15, 20 minutes or so, Sarr wasn't getting pressed. I thought, this is going to work well for us. So yeah, that helped, but much better performances. And in terms of the changes as well, he stuck with a lot of the players, fair enough. Not too sure what was wrong with Bueno, but obviously Totti came back in. But yeah, they all did themselves proud, and a good reaction after that heavy defeat.
No Bueno on the bench, was there?
No, I think he must have been. Him and Johnny were both playing in a training game in Compton on Saturday morning. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe slightly unfair. I'm not sure.
If they were injured, there, they wouldn't be playing in that training game, would they? So
might just be lack of sharpness. I don't know. Interesting.
Maybe. Yeah, it is interesting. I think there's a few things we'll come on to later that's a little interesting. But Jord again got off to a perfect start. Really, potential penalty in the build-up anyway, with McGinn putting Dawson in a German suplex, but Totti Gomez rising like a salmon and shutting up the critics, i.e. you and I.
Yeah, but we just said he was no good with his feet, not necessarily with his head. So,
I said that. I said they should just pick it up to his head and he's fine.
Yeah. Great header, great leap, great finish. Can't knock him for the goal. Like, the goal was brilliant. Yeah, like you say, McGinn and Dawson. The referee stopped it beforehand, didn't he? And I feel like we may or may not get on to Atwell's performance, but I thought it was shocking for both teams.
Yeah,
really bad for both teams. Like, that's not me being biased in any way, shape, or form. And he could have quite easily given a penalty for what McGinn was doing with Dawson. He was wrestling him. Give him a warning, and then when the corner actually came in, he wrestled him to the ground again. And I think there was that sort of like attached and sort of lasered in on Dawson and Kilman in the box that they forgot Totti was in there. And like I say, his header was unbelievable. Martinez had no chance, and it was a great start, to be fair. And yeah, like I say, it was one to settle the nerves because after getting a bad defeat like we did against Brighton the week before, the last thing we would have wanted is sort of to be very edgy and that sort of stuff. It sort of settled the nerves, and I think that really sort of laid the foundations for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I felt nervous still. The atmosphere was excellent as well, by the way. I thought didn't feel like a nervous energy. It felt like a stadium that was confident that they'd see the job through, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't feel that nervous throughout the game. I know Villa had that really good chance for the Watkins header, which is probably a little bit fortunate that he's put it straight at Sarr. I think it was Watkins. But apart from that, the restricted Villa to minimal opportunities.
Yeah, I think the key for the atmosphere was that we got the early goal, so Villa's fans just never got going. it's always hard. I know we can take the mick or whatever. And I know that away end is crap, but if your team goes 1-0 down within 5 minutes, it's so hard to get everyone up for it. But I think the Wolves fans probably went into that game thinking a point would have been half decent for us anyway. So we knew that pressure was off even after we got that early goal. But yeah, like you said, we restricted them. Ollie Watkins, that free header, should have done a lot better with it. Saar had to make a pretty good save in the first half as well. But then there are only two other chances in the second half that I can recall. The Ashley Young strike from range, which went through a few bodies and went wide, and the Tyrone Mings one, he should have put that at least on target, shouldn't he? Really put it over the bar.
Yeah.
But other than that, Villa were almost, I don't know what they were doing right at the end of the game as well. You know, I think Adama got flagged offside and Emi Martinez is trying to take the free kick about 20 yards in front of the liner. It's like it's your own time you're wasting. And luckily Atwell, I think in the last half hour of the game, had actually woken up a little bit, let the game run a little bit more and made it, you know, made him push the free kick back. But they were just wasting their own time. But it was a big win for us, and be interesting for Villa now, obviously, in regards to their push for Europe, if it is still on, because obviously we've put a big dent in it, but obviously Brighton have lost again today, so who knows?
Where did he get 3 minutes from? In the second half?
I don't know. Should have been out 6-7, shouldn't it? Easy.
Yeah, when I said, I was like, fucking hell, it's going to be at least 6 or 7, and he put the thing up. I was like, is it all right? Has it got 3 on both sides? Got 6?
Well, the thing is that all the subs, you're meant to add normally 30 seconds a sub, aren't you? I don't know if that's changed since the whole sideline rule has come in, but that straight away is 3 minutes on its own, and I'm sure there was a few stoppages involved. So,
yeah. Well, Costa like, crawled across the turf as well, didn't he, when he went off?
Yeah,
he had a little jog away from the ref, and as soon as he got away from the ref, he just kind of went on his hands and knees.
Yeah. No complaints anyway.
Yeah, Jord, although we won the game, it was a very pragmatic approach to it. It didn't create a whole host of clear-cut chances. I think the only other clear-cut chance for me was the great work from Nunes, who sprayed it out to Neto, who roasted Konsa. Neto had another good game, but didn't really create much, did we?
No, and it's very much like the Palace game a little bit. You know, we got a lead and we went into our shape and we were a bit pragmatic, and there's nothing wrong with being pragmatic if you're winning football games. Like I say, I don't think Lopetegui's got it's not his squad still yet at the moment. He's only had one window. He wants, you know, there'll be players that we know will go in and out in this summer as well. So I think he's just making do with what he's got. He's got a mix of sort of Nuno, Bruno, and his own players in there. So I think it was just defending the half spaces. We went into almost like a 6-3-1 out of possession, and just made it really difficult for Villa to play through us. And look, for me, like, points matter more than style, especially when you fight to stay in the league, like we are at the moment. You might see a different approach now. We are guaranteed, should I say, now Leicester have lost today to stay in the Premier League. You might see a different style now these last 4 games, but the 3 points were all that mattered, and we found a way, and I can't knock it full stop.
Yeah, obviously points over style is more important. We said this, Dave, when Nuno's in charge, coming towards the end of his tenure, like, rather get points on the board than it be pretty. But I feel like that kind of attitude will probably only get you so far. I think there's a shorter shelf life for, let's just be pragmatic and get a result, because I felt like we were still quite fortunate at the weekend, and it would be good for the last few games for Lopetegui to try and implement his style with the players he's got, getting them ready for pre-season. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're probably right. I think Nuno's system was so good but obviously he obviously wanted to change things, but had the unfortunate circumstances of obviously COVID, and Raul's injury obviously didn't help that either. But I think there is a ceiling to that sort of style of football.
Yeah.
So obviously we do need to change things, and I'd like to see that, especially then, you know, we've got 3 games there, 2 tough away games, but I want to see him attack at least a little bit at United, or at least start both Cunha and Costa, so the intentions are there. So I think, let's see, why not? I mean, every game now, like you say, we say we should still have a fairly respectable finish. But let's go for it. Let's see what we can do, and see if anything changes.
You saw the jubilation at full time as well, Jord. Lopetegui looking up to, I think it was Jeff and Co, who or
directors.
Could be anyone. Could be anyone. But it was almost similar scenes to when he won the Europa League. I remember him going like that.
I like that. He does the little
Yeah.
Italian. I
Yeah,
know he's
yeah,
not
whatever
Italian,
it
but
is,
yeah, the
I
little
know.
Yeah, he gave it the big old Vamos, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
You know, so
Vamos.
Vamos. No, it's just relief. I think he's come out and said that was like his most difficult job that he's ever had to do, or his most difficult task. And we were dead and buried. We've said it a few times. We were dead and buried before he came in. Points per game since he's been in have been unbelievable. We'd probably be 7th in the league on form with him. So, you know, and this is with what I would still class as a pretty bang average to mediocre squad on the whole. So I think he's done an unbelievable job. Shut up everyone who kept saying about Potter a few weeks ago and all this crap about Lopetegui out. Load of bollocks. He's the bloke, and he's got my full support for next year. I can't wait to see what he builds.
Yeah, I don't think the football's been that much better, but as we've just said, the results have been so much better, and that's all you really care about in the position that we're in. We just need to be pragmatic and get those results over than developing a style. But I'm sure that'll come, especially when he gets a pre-season under his belt. I know we had almost a mini pre-season before the World Cup, but it's not quite the same, is it? And Dave might be there in South Korea to watch them all, won't we? But hopefully.
Only if a sponsor wants to pay for me. I'm not paying those prices up there.
Drill it, pay up.
That's where Jord's bad belly's from.
Probably.
No, it isn't, I promise you. Libelous that is to the Grill It boys.
They're meant to be doing a European tour, aren't they? A little European
earlier in July, yeah, but there's no details for that, and still no season ticket information, which I'm sure we'll see this week, maybe.
Yeah, when I spoke to the club last week about it, because I said we've had loads of questions. Jord's off. We've had loads of questions about season ticket renewals, etc., etc. The stance from the club is, well, I asked about any price increases. There was no info on that, but they said once they've secured Premier League safety mathematically, then it'll be released not long after that. So probably expect it over.
Maybe.
Yeah, over the next couple of days, I'd imagine. Just while we're talking about it, Dave, do you anticipate an increase? And if so, would you be accepting of that?
I think there will be an increase. I'd be very, very surprised. They might shock us and freeze the prices, but I think with what's going on in the real world in regards to, you know, prices of everything going up, the amount of money they've actually spent, although I know the football's not been great this season, I think there'll be a slight increase. I don't know by how much though. Let's wait and see.
I think there'll be an increase for what it's worth. I'm not sure how much, but if I just have a look at season ticket prices for this season, so you're South Bank, aren't you, Dave? On North Bank, I'm just trying to get the prices up now. So
I assume we pay the same, I think, because you're lower.
Yeah, we do. I think it's $5.90 that we pay. So, say if there's a 10% increase, and that goes up to $649. Do you think that would be a fair price, considering ever since we've come up, seasons of positions have been worse and worse and worse and worse, essentially. So when we finish seventh, and since then have been on decline. Every single season has been an increase. Do you think that's fair? I mean, again, this is all pie in the sky. We don't know if there's going to be an increase, but say if they were to increase it again, do you think that's fair based on the football that we've been served the past couple of years? Because I don't.
It's difficult, isn't it? Obviously, I'm not massive into sort of football financials, and obviously never worked within a football club, so it's difficult for me to say, because I know obviously operating costs can change and so on, but it's a hard one, because at the end of the day, and this is me sort of looking at Foster's point of view as well, if I'm sure, I don't think the season ticket waiting list is as long as it used to be, because when we got promoted, it was about 10,000, I think, on that waiting list. There's probably 3 or 4 maybe now, maybe a little bit less. So if there's maybe 1,000, 1,500 fans that don't want to renew their ticket, Foster know that there's another 1,500 fans waiting that will buy their season ticket off them regardless. So it's hard, and it's a difficult situation for fans as well, because even if there are fans, which there will be fans out there that struggle to afford it, they know they have to pay it Otherwise, they're going to lose their seat, and they probably will struggle to get a season ticket again for Wolves for a number of years. So it's a difficult. I can see the difficult. It's a difficult situation for both parties, really.
Yeah, people's financial situations are different as well. I don't know what the limit would be where I'm not paying that. It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's like your first love.
Yeah,
You probably think you'll find ways to make it work, find ways to pay it, but I don't know. I think it could be a bit of an own goal if the price increases are quite significant. And they'll benchmark it with other clubs as well. Like obviously Villa will put the prices up, Leicester will still be up in the air and I think they're maybe not the Villa, but clubs in and around us. You're probably looking at thinking how much.
The Villa one was the best though, wasn't it? With the cup games. So I said we were the only club, one of the only clubs that included cup games within our season ticket scheme. So therefore, we have now removed this from our season tickets from next season.
Superb. Yeah, I think that in terms of maximising commercials, I think that the season ticket revenue isn't the biggest. I mean, obviously, you look after the pennies, look after the pounds, but I don't think it's going to generate that much more of an increase if they increase it by 10%. So, and then people say, well, why don't you go and charge a commercial sponsor more? It just doesn't really work like that. But
yeah,
I see it from both ways. I see it from the clubs, and the club will argue, well, we've spent X amount last season, but that's fine. But for us, the quality of the product has got worse. So that's all well and good, you spending that money, but
I think there's only minor saving grace at the moment is since Lopetegui's come in. Although you may not think the performances have got better, the amount of goals they've scored has increased. The goals have increased a lot more. Seen a lot more wins at home as well. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
We will. Anything else from the Wolves Villa game, chaps? I thought that Cunha probably had his best game in a Wolves shirt. Personally, thought he was excellent. Again, linking up with Costa though needs to happen more often, especially for the rest of the season.
Cunha played well. I was a little bit surprised that he came off so early. Neto as well, the energy that he showed, the little celebration as well after he pressed all the way across the pitch as well. But yeah, going back to Totti as well. I mean, yeah, people need to put some respect on his name. I think I'm talking about that back to goal, little back heel to flick it round a player and run it round. Say no more.
Fucking hell. Drinking from the Kool-Aid, don't you? He loves it. Would you be happy with him as your left back next season?
No, probably not.
You can't like him that much. Would you be happy with him, Jord, as your left back?
I'd be disappointed if he was getting starts over Bueno and potentially Ryan Giles without even bringing another left back in. Like, I feel like there might be a bit of a problem if that was the case. But again, it's styles, isn't it? It's for the certain games, it works, obviously. Like, I think he's proven his worth at being around the squad. He's versatile. For me, if you want to be a team, top half team or pushing for Europe, I don't think he's good enough to be starting for you week in, week out. But he's never let himself down when he's played for Wolves, in my opinion. And I thought he had a great game against Villa. He got skinned against Bailey, didn't he, in the second half, where he ended up pulling him down. But, he did the right thing. So, yeah, look, he's an improving player. I still think he's limited, but there's desire there. Like I say, I think, he's got a place in the squad, but I don't necessarily think he should be starting for us week in, week out if we want to go where we think we want to go next year.
Got a bit more versatility about him as well, isn't he? Now he's not just a centre half; he can almost play as an auxiliary left back. Rumours suggest that he's being courted for a call up from Selección. Yeah, saw that on Promixer Junado. Who's manager there now, Dave?
Roberto Martinez. No. It's one of them. I think with him, and it's probably similar to. It's been interesting over the last few years that there's clubs that having centre halves move out to like a fullback role. It's worked out quite well. Obviously, Ben White is one. You'd probably say he's more of a centre half, but done well at right back. Even Dan Burns doing a half decent job for Newcastle as well. So it's probably a thing we're going to see more often. But for Portugal's sake, obviously it's something different here. Someone that can cover both bases. But don't know. I don't know. The state of Portugal's national team changes every time I see the squad come out. So I don't know. I don't know where he'd fit in there. Really.
They're front loaded, aren't they? They've got about 400 world class attackers.
And I'm trying to think of left back options. I've got Nuno Mendes, Guerrero. Yeah.
Cancelo, if you want to play him out there as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So wait and see.
Yeah, Guerrero normally plays, doesn't he?
I think so.
I think you're all forgetting Ruben Vinagre as well. He'll be back at Sporting. He hasn't got a place at Everton, doesn't have a place at Sporting, so a little bit up in the air.
He's homegrown at Wolves, you know.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll come back to Wolves?
Can you get into Europe? If we get into Europe, we'll have to sign him back for the homegrown quota. Yeah.
We need a certain amount of players, more players next season, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of the players we'll have to have a look at that because I think it is tight. We're over by like 3 or 4 players because a lot of the 21s like Neto, you didn't have to register. Players like him, you've all got to register now. Ain't Nori, obviously may well go anyway. But
is he not homegrown, Neto?
No, I don't think so.
Because how long has he been at the club now? 3 years. How many years is it? Before a certain
3
age?
years, isn't it? Before 21, isn't it? Before you turn 21. And
on or before 21. I think it's your 21st birthday. Yeah, I think it was a bit tight. Yeah.
One for us to
I need to look at the Fabio because Fabio may become homegrown, but because he's been playing abroad rather than in England, I don't know how it works still.
I think he still will be homegrown.
Yeah, because he's contracted to us, isn't he? So yeah, wait and see.
So. Wonderful, fantastic 3 points at home, and well, as we didn't know then it secured our safety, but I think we all kind of knew, didn't we? And it's nice to get one over the Villa. I saw a few videos beforehand from a lot of fan channels. Some saying they're going to bash them 6-0, and
I saw that.
it's just a bit daft, isn't it? I mean, the passports in the draw chant. I still think they could get Europe, but it's nice for Julian's party pooping Wolves to throw a spanner in the works. And yeah, Molineux's become a bit of a fortress, not just for this season, the last few games, but also against the Villa. Dave, it's barely glad glove on us at Molineux, did they? It's not a happy hunting ground for them.
No, I'm glad we didn't have to hear Mind the Gap as well from either set of supporters. So happy days.
Yeah. Might be hearing Mind the Gap Samuel Town next, obviously the Villa of or Warsaw, or even Cov. I hope Cov don't come up though, because I quite like Jokeris. But yeah, Saturday though, back in action on the Beach FC. We're away from home against Manchester United. Dave, you going?
I'll be there, mate. Yeah, looking forward to it. Got an unbeaten record at Old Trafford, so long may it continue.
Been once, won once.
No, twice. 1-1 draw when Matinho scored, and then Matinho scored the winner for the 1-0 win as well, didn't he? So yeah, Matinho.
Yeah, come out on the edge of the box, didn't he? Like half volley.
Lovely little finish.
Yeah, Bruno did that.
Yeah. My goat.
Oh man, I remember that was like 1st of January when it was 2nd of January.
New Year's Day, or the day after that.
When we went on that like mad run, like 5 wins on the bounce, weren't it?
Yeah.
No, we're thinking, get the passports out.
That was it. We actually thought then. We thought, right, could have a good window here, and we're gonna get Europe, but no.
Signed. Bob no open envelope.
And Chiquinho.
Yeah. Chiquinho. Who else did they sign? They signed someone else, didn't they? Kawabe.
Oh my god! I was trying to think who that was. Then I was like, who? Yeah. Remember when people get commented saying on the live streams,
when's he going to get a chance?
Yeah. When's Hayo Kawabe going to get a chance? Do you think he's got a future at Wolves? No.
34-year-old Kawabe. My role. So Ethan Pinnock reads it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is he still a Wolves player?
Yeah, he is, I think. I think so. Yeah, he's at Grasshoppers, isn't he?
A weird one, isn't it?
That has got to be like, I know obviously we got Huang sort of in the, remember like Fosun gone through this phase of trying to find the next Asian superstar. So all these Chinese players.
So weird.
Hayo Kawabe was probably the most money laundering deal I've ever seen or heard of in my life, to be honest. So
like just thinking about it.
He's still playing for Wolves, 27 years of age.
I mean, he's even got a picture holding the shirt up.
He came to
Who's
Molyneux,
the-
didn't he? Him and Totti Gomez came back to train, and then they're like, right, we've got a plane booked, and Totti stayed, and he buzzed off.
Can't have even. Oh, they've even done like first interviews with him as well. I forgot all this.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's so strange, isn't it? Bit of a
Like a
social
competition
experiment.
winner. I know. Yeah.
Jord, are you going to United?
I'm not going.
Still planning having the shits.
Probably. No. I've got a suit fitting on Saturday for one of
Bash.
my mates' wedding. So I'm a groomsman. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm in
yeah.
Telford. Yeah, so yeah, I've got a suit fitting. It's been booked in for a while, so you can tell he's an Albion fan because he booked it after the season's finished.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey.
I'd no hopes of getting in the playoffs then. So.
Yeah, exactly that. So no, unfortunately, a suit fitting, but I'm sure my trusty IPTV will make me feel like I'm in the ground itself.
Yeah, talking of the Albion now, it was nice for Luke Cundle to score the second today, wasn't it? They gave him some stick in the Hawthorns, didn't he? He put his fingers up to the crowd.
Yeah, I think he scored both games, didn't he? Against them, yeah.
I think he shushed them today. I think from what I've heard anyway. Not that I've seen it. So yeah, bring him back. He might win Player of the Year yet.
El Capitano. Do you think he's got a future at Wolves, Dave?
I don't know. It's like players like him, Joe Hodge. But at the end of the day, is Alex Scott £20 million worth more than Luke Cundle?
Absolutely.
That'll be this summer's, won't it?
Yeah. Fuck them on new views.
You know what? A proper like tangent now. You know, like obviously all the Football League team of the years have come out. Like Elliot Watt, who used to play for Wolves, has got in one of the team of the years. Aaron Collins, who played for the Wolves 21s, he's won League One Player of the Year as well. So Wolves have just got this knack of, and I know it's like, you know, Wolves can use that as like a model. Like if you're trying to sign players, like, yeah, you might not make it at Wolves, but look at all these players that have trained with us, played for us for years, and going on to
that's exactly what you want
win
for
the
a
big
Premier League
trophies.
club, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but like for
signing players who'll do a job.
More for an academy level. If you're looking to sign 14, 15-year-old kids, like even if you don't have a career at Wolves, this is what you may also win. League Two Player of the Year. There you go.
Yeah, but we can't even expect to be like self-sustaining. If Chesterfield giving you £24,000 for a 23-year-old Welshman, it's probably not really the route you want to go down, is it? I know what you're trying to say, but
remember Ben Stevenson,
Coventry.
Yeah, we signed him from Coventry, and he just never played for us.
Luke Matheson, £1 million.
Yeah, still at the club. He'll be gone.
You're missing another good news story there. Niall Ennis promoted with Argyle.
There you go.
Yeah.
Championship. Yeah. Could get him on a podcast this summer if you wanted. How long are we on for this summer? Yeah, man. We'll get one.
What's the odds on us getting Conor Cody on the podcast?
Well, as long as he's not at Wolves. Let's see.
I reckon he'll want his say.
Yeah.
If not, his mum probably wants to say.
Or his sister, whoever it was.
Yeah, I think it was his mum, wasn't it?
Nah, his mum's called Gail. I don't know. I think it must be his sister. Who knows?
Anyway, Wolves versus Manchester United. Dave, are you bothered?
Yeah, always bothered. Always. Yeah,
always Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want us to go there and play our football. Just not go there. Just there's no need to have. Obviously you want to still be putting a half decent performance, but almost the shackles are off. We could go there, attack, try and play some entertaining football, try and score a few goals. Not that we're going to, but put a lot of pressure on United. You just don't know which United are going to turn up at the moment. 2 losses on the bounce, I think.
Oh, Dave's internet's on the blink. Sorry, mate, you have to repeat yourself there. You've frozen.
Oh, is it me? Sorry.
You said you don't know what United.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know what United are going to turn up. We lost 2 games on the bounce, and looked pretty poor going forward, I think. So if we can shock them towards the start of the game, like we have done at home the last few matches, get an early goal and do our thing, and we should be all right.
Jord, how do you want Lopetegui to approach this game? Similar to how we do the home games, because it's quite clear that the approach to away games doesn't really work.
No, I'd just go 4-4-2, and however you want to look at it, 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to call it.
4-2-3-1.
I feel like if Weghorst is playing as a 10, we've got a fantastic chance because I don't know why Eric Ten Hag, the genius that Man United fans want you to believe, thinks Wout Weghorst is a 10. Yeah, any number 10 as long as I've got a hole in my arsehole.
And we know you've got one of them after today's podcast.
Fucking hell. I know it. Fuck me. And then I just feel like with the back two at the moment as well, with Shaw and Lindelof, as good as they have been whilst Martinez and Riverana have been out, I think you can get at them. I really do. And I feel like Costa could really bully them. I thought Antonio is obviously more mobile than Costa, but I thought Antonio gave him the run around in that second half, especially yesterday. So, yeah, I think Costa and Cunha, 4-4-2, and see what you got. We've got nothing to lose now. And I feel like one of those things, they're going to be a bit on edge, a bit nervy. They can see Liverpool in their slipstream now coming to get them. So I just think if you keep it quiet 15, 20 minutes and grow into the game, that'd be my tactic with it, and just see where you end up with it.
Who had, after the Villa game, as guaranteeing Premier League safety? Was it you, Dave? I think I said after the United
said
game.
quite early, yeah. I said Brighton or Villa, I think. So, yeah.
Jord had us to go down, so I won't ask him.
I don't think I did, mate.
You got to get that clown out more club. I remember you saying on the podcast. See, I got a
that was Bruno. That was, mate.
Get fucked.
Get fucked.
We've not played that, have we?
Oh yeah. Did we? No, we're not playing. We played mine.
No, we haven't. I think it might be time to premiere it. Have you got it?
I don't know if I've got it to. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me find it. Let's see if I can find it.
So someone had done I think the kids call it fan cam, Dave. Is that correct?
Apparently so.
So this chap on Instagram, his name escapes me again. I do apologise.
Jonah, WWFC Jonah.
Yeah.
Let me present
We
myself.
did a fan cam of Dave, almost like a little compilation. One of the compilations you're probably familiar with. But he's also, we had a DM on Instagram the other day, and this was it. And I was the first one to open it up. And I sent it into, obviously, our chat, and we're pissing ourselves. So, Dave, if you're on Spotify, it's audio too. So, play the beat.
Why don't you just start the bloke? I'm so, like, literally, I don't want to hear about Bruno Lage ever again. I'm glad he's gone. Then fuck off. Wherever.
I just ain't read my system. Yeah.
Get fucked.
Jonah.
Why don't you just...
Brilliant. Absolutely. It's the whole jumper thing that gets me every single time.
Oh my God. That bloke has got too much time on his hands.
I'm waiting for the Matt Cooper or Finn one, but he what did we say? He needs Matt or Finn to say something funny before he can do
some bloke I was speaking to after the game on Saturday, I believe he's from Torbay Wolves. He comes up from Torquay on a minibus every single home game. I believe his name was Phil. I can't remember. So if it's not Phil, I do apologise. I was speaking to him in the Wheat Sheaf. Wheat Sheaf?
You went to the Wheat Sheaf?
After the game, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
on the corner there by the metro, by the tram.
Yeah, some bloke was kicking off for me as well at the fruit machine because he said I was barging. It was a.
He said you were barred.
No, he said I kept barging into him.
Oh.
Because he kept losing, and it was just trying to take his anger out on something else. Yeah. But he said that Jord's been fantastic addition to the podcast.
There we go.
How much you pay?
Yeah, Jord said it was his dad, Jack.
Yeah, I need a few more people, a few more fans, and I might get signed on retainer for another 12-month contract.
Yeah. I was going to say
my season deal at the moment.
Yeah. We might trigger the deal in the summer. Depends how much Finn wants to renew it.
Yeah.
He's been here last 2 weeks, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm worth more than Finn.
Yeah. But what do you know people's pace on FIFA and strength? No, you don't. So
you've not brought up their ability on Football Manager, so
yeah, exactly. Well, he had a special card about 3 years ago.
Where's he from?
He's just staffing it, and he's just not proper weird.
What is that?
In the most
really accent,
bassiest voice, only dogs can hear.
Jack,
do you want to Do you want to do lineups for the Man United game? I mean, does anyone really care? Or we
I'd
go
go
straight into the
unchanged.
question? Yeah, unchanged.
Unchanged as well. I'd go unchanged as well.
Yeah.
How about?
I think sorry. Go on.
How about Jord? A front two of Podence and Jimenez, and then Jean Martino just behind them.
You want to?
Are we getting on
job
that now?
centre? Yeah.
Are we getting on that now or not?
Can do. Just for a bit of context, Podence has put a post out on Instagram. For what it's worth, I don't really care. I don't think it's as bad as people are making out. But he's put a post up saying best. Oh no, that's his missus. He's put a face of those who thought they were going to play. Smiley face, in God's time. Prayer emoji, winking emoji. And his missus, and it seems to be a running theme with players at Wolves, has commented saying best player and scorer of the team on the bench.
Is it his missus?
Ricardo Podence.
It's
his missus. Is it Ricardo? What team does he bat for?
It's Martino's missus in it.
No,
anyway,
Martino's missus. That's a relative. Ricardo Martino's. Ricardo Podence. Sorry. Yeah.
Best player and scorer of the team on the bench. Play with them in the training. Start to tighten panties and see if they respect the legend. Let's go. Okay. And then Martino's missus has commented with the see no evil monkey emoji, and 3 variations of that. So we'll ask Dave instead. What's your thoughts? I mean, I don't really care about it. Do you?
If I just saw the post, it wouldn't have bothered me. It's more the comment there that possibly does add a bit more context, unless this so-called relative has misread the situation. I don't know, but that comment there is disappointing me a little bit. And obviously, I think Jimenez has commented on it with laughing emojis as well. But yeah, if any footballer, not just for Wolves, but any team thinks he's entitled to play every single minute and start every match just because he's the top goal scorer, he's very wrong. Especially Podence, who's got 6-7 goals for us this season, which is the minimum all our forward players should be getting from now on anyway, per season, because that's just, and we know his attitude. He's and Lopetegui's obviously now found his best 11. Podence isn't part of it. So, we're happy. We've stayed up. We're in the Premier League. The last thing we need is just idiotic comments like this. So I'm sure we'll do a lot more content on it at the end of the season. But for me, Podence is one of those that I'm sure will be showing the door in the summer anyway.
Do you not think it's just like a bit of a muchness? Like it might just be having a laugh with everyone.
He might be, but I just think the comment that whoever it may be, I don't know if it's his brother, cousin, relative, or whatever. That obviously for me, why would he bring up stuff like that? Being about the top goal scorer and being on the bench and stuff. So
yeah, but if you're a professional footballer, the people around you are probably going to kiss your ass anyway. Yeah. So, and it's not him that's posted it, has it? So I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt on it. I don't know how you've interpreted play with them in training, start to tighten panties. What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Not a clue. I think that's what Jord needs to do, to be honest, tighten his panties.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of an issue, to be honest. I know that Raul's commented on it and stuff, but it's likely that these players aren't here at the end of the season anyway. It definitely looks like Jimenez won't be here, not being even the match day squad again. Do you think that now that we're safe, we may see him again, or do you think that Lopetegui? I don't think Lopetegui seems to be the first team coach who has a lot of sentiment within his thinking and approach.
This will be interesting because there was already a discussion about this over the weekend. Probably most probable game will be the Everton game, and what you might see is him come on for the last couple of minutes. That's it, obviously. So I think you'll see probably him, Martino, Adama, possibly Podence will probably get minutes. But because I think if Lopetegui doesn't, then I don't know, it's hard. I think any player will lose absolutely all their respect for Lopetegui if he does that to them. Like, say for argument's sake, the Everton game comes for Jimenez. If he's going to leave, that's his chance to say goodbye to the fans. If Lopetegui leaves him out of the squad completely, then from Lopetegui, that's like a big flick in the V at Jimenez, to be fair. So
Yeah, but
not that I'm bothered either way, because at the end of the day, Lopetegui's job is to win the football matches, and if he doesn't think Jimenez is up to it, then and like we said from day one, he told Jimenez straight, and he's obviously not worked hard enough to get back into the team.
if it is a two fingers up though, do you think Lopetegui even cares? Do you think Jimenez even cares? Because the likelihood of them working again, it's just whether you difficult if you're not guaranteed that he's going to go. If he does something like that and he's there in this pre-season, it's going to cause problems for everyone. Then also, if he does treat Jimenez like such, well, rightly or wrongly, it's up to people to make their own judgments on that. But other players may look at that too. People who are close to Jimenez who are still there and think he's treated my mate a bit of a prick. Like, I don't like that, and it does influence players. So especially someone like Jimenez, who I'd imagine holds quite a lot of influence in the dressing room. I know he's quite quiet, but one of the senior members.
Yeah, I don't know.
We shall see. Anyway, moving on to the questions. Thanks for those who sent those.
Are we getting Jord's opinion on the Pedence post or not?
Okay. Yeah, go on then.
So I just think, again, like I said a few times on this podcast, when it comes to social media, just fucking shut up. Like Anna Matinho, Ricardo Pedence, whoever you are, just don't help anyone.
Has anybody seen Ricardo Pedence?
No. I should have done that. I said I was going to do that. I've been trying to shit myself. I just think those sort of comments just don't help anyone. And whether Pedence's original post is in like jest a little bit, like it's just not a good look. Like I say, there's no need for the comments, and whether you're that arsed about it or not, I'm not necessarily that arsed in the original post, but I just think it leaves a bit of a sour taste. And Jimenez at the moment, for me, it looks like him and his missus are trying to get any sort of, if they can get a sneaky little jab to the kidney to the club, metaphorically at the minute, they're going and taking the swing. So for me, like, I know people like to say goodbye to him at Everton. Like, for me, it's souring daily by his actions with what he's doing. So I don't mind if he don't kick a ball for us again, or if he gets a solitary minute at Arsenal at the Emirates. I couldn't give a shit anymore. Like, I think if he does come back in pre-season, again, I think Lopetegui's quite clear on who he wants and who he doesn't want in terms of in and around the squad. I think you'll see a lot of these players who are coming back, who are still contracted, training with the 23s. I don't think he'll integrate him into his squad next year, if they're not in his plans.
Yeah, it was the infamous Kenny Jacket bomb squad, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. That Steve Davis managed for a little bit.
He did, yeah.
Bomb squad. Yeah. Well, it's good to hear George's thoughts on it. I hope your bowels are old enough. Adrian has asked, how much do you think the summer transfer budget will be? Not a lot, probably.
I think there'll be money available, but it'll be predominantly off freeing up wages and player sales, I think. I think there'll still be money there for Fosun because they'll want to back Lopetegui, and I think that's probably what they would have said to him when he got appointed, that there will be money available in your first few windows. But, you know, we could have a long conversation about who's going to stay and who's going to go, but I think there's enough players in there at the moment where he can make his own funds, basically.
Thoughts on the Ansu Fati to Wolves swap deal with Ruben Neves? Ruben Neves plus 30 million. A player that's not wanted by Barcelona, Ruben Neves, and a player who doesn't want to leave Barcelona. What could go wrong?
It's happened before, though, and Trincao didn't necessarily want to come here, did he? We seem to get the rough end of these Barcelona deals. I think Ansu Fati has got a fantastic reputation, but I think he's missed something like over 100 games, and he's 20 years old. Or so, it's like a large amount of games he's missed via injury. I won't be averse to getting him in on sort of a loan with an option, or that sort of deal if he triggers so many appearances we buy him. But again, like, I know there's a lot of people saying we've got a lot of players out wide, and do we need another one? But the reality is the ones we've got out wide aren't very good because they don't, they're not. We don't, as good as sometimes we think they are. The attacking returns, aren't good enough for a winger, in my opinion. So if we do bring Ansu Fati in, he'll probably will end up starting week in, week out.
At least you wouldn't have to get another shirt printed, Jord, if they brought in Fatty.
That's awful, that is.
There you go. That's his clip. That's his Bandcamp clip now.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Disgusting, that is.
Sorry, mate. I'm so
That is
sorry.
so
I'm
bad. That is so bad.
I'm about 11 stone wet through after this weekend, anyway. What are you
Mate,
about?
you're smaller than me. It's just, I don't know. It's not as funny if you say it about yourself, is it? So,
There you go. I'll take it on the chin.
Which one?
Oh.
Very good. 2-0.
Oh. You owe you an apology.
I thought that was you'd set me up for that one. That's what I thought the joke was. Oh,
Cindy minutes and Martino sat here rubbing a fucking hand together watching this thinking.
Yeah. Get him back.
Only joking, George.
Oh,
I mean,
it's all love.
Sorry.
It is all. I'm so sorry, George.
So sorry.
Another community official later.
Oh,
George was left talking walls with immediate effect. You'd like to wish George on his
Talking Walls corner flag post.
George tomorrow with a fan cap shirt like that.
I've already done that. I need it always walls now.
Always. Oh, you're about 30 years too young to go on that, are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not.
I can quack though, can't I?
3-0.
Three of the best have made him pay. Oh God. Christian has asked, shouts been made to let players departing in the summer, i.e. Real Martino, etc., get starts in remaining games. I know we spoke about this, Dave. Krista reckons continue play the best team and finish with momentum as opposed to whimpering through results. What's your opinions, results or sentiment, Jord? I pretty much know what you're going to say, but
I don't think there's any room for sentiment at all. And I feel the Jimenez-Lopetegui relationship's done. I think it has been done for a while. I think Martino could get minutes. He brought him on the weekend as well, didn't he? Rather than Gomez on the bench, but brought Martino on for his experience. I think there's a lot of respect there with Martino. Oh, did he? I think he did come on, didn't he? Or have I got that wrong? He was coming on.
He was coming on.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think he did. I'm doubting myself now, but anyway, I think the Jimenez relationship, ever since he went to the World Cup, well, I know we spoke about it a few times, like with the Mexico squad. I think Lopetegui's had no time for him, so
91st.
he did come on. Yeah. So I think Martino. When you think about Martino, as a Wolves player though, as well, it's crazy to think he's played his most club appearances have been for us. When you look at the list of teams he's played for, it's unbelievable. And his first sort of 18 months, 2 years in a Wolves shirt were incredible. Probably the best player I've seen down Molyneux. So yeah, for me, there is a lot of respect there with Martino. I mean, his corner kicks are crap, and they always have been crap, but unbelievable footballer.
Can't beat the first man. Jord Routinho.
Always puts his hand up though, doesn't he? Bless him.
Yeah, you're going to miss that.
Yeah,
could be 7-0 down. He'll still go you'll still clap him.
Yeah, they'd clean the ball like this with his sleeve. Just
I just hope there's no clamour for when he leaves. Is get him on a coaching role. What would you want to stay in Wolverhampton? Yeah, of course. I saw someone on a Facebook group say that Wolves should offer Connor Cody a lifeline and bring him back as a coach. Bearing in mind, how old's Cody? 30, 31. Bring him back as, and to be fair, if he's listening to this, I do apologise, and I don't know your name, so whatever. Bring him back as a coach, but don't put him in the first team as a coach. Give him an incentive to coach in the academy, and then work his way up to the first team. Thoughts on that?
I'd rather just play him as number 6, in behind there. From next year.
You know what though? I know because they've obviously won today. Is this deal to Everton permanent if they stay up?
It's meant to be an option, but I don't know if it's automatically triggered. I don't think anyone knows if it's automatically triggered if they stay up or not. I think they'd
If
be
it is
daft not
automatically
to.
triggered,
We were told us for as long as Everton stop up, he won't be a Wolves player next season.
Yeah.
but
Some
would
Wolves
he's going to be like four. Well, Mina's played today. He's like fourth choice, isn't he? Behind
Yeah.
Keane, Mina, and Tarkovsky now.
Mm. To be fair though, Dyche has probably seen like his games for Wolves when he's
Yeah,
played
got
Burnley,
bullied.
because more often than not we've had shockers against Burnley, haven't we? So
He's
he's
got
probably
bullied,
looked at that
hasn't
and thought, "Yeah, I don't know, don't want none of that." You were fan of Sean Dyche, Dave.
Yeah. Well, I can't even remember what I said about him, so
You
yeah.
said he's
it
really
ruined
good.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. that ginger stubble on your face.
Yeah. Would be on my face, mate.
Oh, bloody hell. This podcast has gone into the gutter. It's disgusting, really. Could have kids listening to this. Ben has asked, do you think the likes of Kundal, Giles, etc., have a chance of becoming first-team players next season?
I think they'll get a pre-season. I think Giles has probably got a better chance. He's got, he's had a couple of good years in the Championship now. So Kundal will be an interesting one. I think he'll get opportunities in pre-season. But yeah, I don't know. I think out of those two, Giles has probably got the best opportunity to stay in the team.
Jord?
Agree. I think Giles has got a good opportunity. You might see Kundal stick around because I think he might send Hodge out on loan this time round. But then is it you stunting Kundal's growth because he's been playing the latter part of the season and even first team for Swansea. Yeah, there's a few of them. Like I think Sanderson's another one who's meant to be coming back, but I think he'll get sold. Interesting to see what will happen with Longwyke as well. Now he's coming back from Plymouth. They'll probably want him again for another year. There's a few that are quite interesting to see what happens, but I do think Giles has probably got the best chance by a long shot because we haven't got a nailed left back at the moment, so he could come in and make it his own.
Well, if you ask Dave, we have.
Who's that? Totti.
Yeah.
Who's that, mate?
Talking of Totti, you'll probably answer it for the next question. Dale's asked, who should have the armband next season with the departure of Neves? Will it be Kilman or should it be Ballon Dawson? Or who would you have?
Dawson's a shout, to be fair.
Can you take it off Kilman, though?
Yeah, of course you can.
Wow.
Because he's not actually really been given it, has he?
Well, he's vice captain, so...
Yeah, by Bruno Lage. I don't think Lopetegui ever officially said that, did he? So, I don't know. I think Dawson will be the one.
Yeah. And you need to...
Neves is staying anyway, so...
Do you think?
Nah, I doubt it.
I think if there's not an offer on the table, he'll sign a new deal there.
He looked really happy at the end of the game. Not really happy, so
it's massive.
Massive.
I was just sure. No, he's just talking about Sean Dyche.
Ian Hastings has asked, which are the main areas which need strengthening for next season? With 8 first teamers potentially leaving, they will need replacing, so it's going to be a busy summer. I think that this rebuild job, and I know you said about before, Jord gut the lot, but it's really hard to get rid of 8 players and bring in 8 and 9. Like it's a real difficult job. We've seen with Forest this season with a big turnover. I know it doesn't help that they've brought absolute shite, but it's not an easy task to have that kind of turnover both in and out.
No, it's not, but I think we need it. And I feel like it's not easy. It isn't. And you're asking where we need to strengthen. I'd argue all positions we need to strengthen. I feel like throughout the spine of the team, we need to improve. Goalkeeper to centre forward. I think the wingers aren't effective enough we've got at the moment. I think Semedo, if we sign him on his option, we get Giles back. We've probably got enough fullbacks, but I think it's a big rebuild job. I really do. It's good that we stayed up. I think it's a massive summer.
Do you think that they could trigger Semedo's deal and flog him?
Probably.
Yeah.
Benfica.
Probably. I think Atletico Madrid have been after him a few windows as well, haven't they? And obviously they've got Doherty on loan. He ain't done anything, has he? Yeah, so he could.
Swap
You
deal.
could see some like that.
Christ, be a blast from the past. Get
No,
the band
thank
back
you.
together. What's Ryan
How
Bennett
about-
doing these days?
I
Jord
was
knows,
gonna say-
actually. What's he up to?
I can't ever reveal that story. Ever.
If we ever do a live show, I think you should.
Deal. If you ever do anything live where no one's recording, I
In
can
the
That's
flesh.
gonna, yeah. That's gonna have to be one of those lads. Can you all turn your phones off? No one
Yeah,
recording.
it
this
has
one, please.
literally
Yeah.
because yeah.
You know
You know what? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
make the thing. Yeah, if we do a live show and there's no recording, I'll tell everyone the Ryan Bennett story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how big it was.
That's what she said.
She definitely didn't. Blaine Robertson has asked, who would you sign from the potentially relegated team? So if we're looking at it now, you've got Southampton, you've got Leeds, and you've got Leicester.
As it stands.
One player from each team. Starting with Southampton.
I'll go different because I think everyone would say Ward Prowse. I'd go Livramento.
Signing a bloke with no knees. Sounds good.
Very Wolves.
Yeah. We haven't got enough fullbacks with no knees.
Yeah.
Get him in. Jord, who's your Southampton pick?
I'd probably go. Oh, this is tough. Possibly Lavia, I think, or Ward-Prowse. But then you've got. I'm thinking about actually our team. You know, you've got Lemina and Gomez, haven't you? That are gonna. Yeah, you know, I'd have to be one of them too. I think.
I don't know if he's any good. I saw a
Solomona.
few people mentioning Salisu as well.
Yeah, don't mind him.
Doesn't really play though, does he?
I don't know who they play, so no.
Bella Kotchap and Bednarek tonight. Bella
Yeah.
Kotchap's still a bit raw, isn't he? He's a young lad, but
You know, the German national team a few times.
Yeah.
I can imagine if we do sign him. Sorry, the Facebook post. Fucking signing Bella Ketchup. Yeah. He's mustard now. He's ketchup.
only from Hagan, aren't they? Who do you have from Leeds United?
They've got a few half decent players, to be fair. Leeds.
Jack Harrison, Tyler Adams.
Tyler
I'll go
Adams has been
Nonto.
so good. Right, Nonto actually would be my shout as well.
Don't think
Raw.
I think he'll go back to Italy. Yeah, but
No Luke Ayling.
Melia.
Really, yeah, bloody hell. Could catch a cold at the minute, could he? And I think this is the one where it's going to be a bit more interesting. Leicester City, who do you have? Got to be Madders, hasn't it?
Oh,
Madison's probably
I
one.
ain't having Madders at my club. I've told you, he's a prick. I'll go
Is that another
Harvey Barnes.
live show story? I think
Yeah,
mate.
mate.
Told it.
No,
He
I
got-
said it. Yeah,
He got
was a
caught
prick
up
on
in the
golf
Ryan
course.
Bennett scandal, didn't he?
Yeah, part two. Nah, I'd go for Harvey
Never
Barnes,
played
I think. I know you say Albion. and all
Well,
that.
we asked about this
Harvey
before,
Barnes.
did we?
Yeah, I'd go Harvey Barnes. I would go Harvey Barnes.
I said Ian Nacho last season, and everyone said no.
Don't know. He wouldn't.
Is
he
that a
would be
contract as well?
He wouldn't be my number one striker choice. Like I'd have him in the squad, but I wouldn't want to start him every game.
I like
know.
Ian Nacho. I do you think so? He's teaching on Ethan Pinnock territory here.
Hey, we dropped him in.
Oh, we dropped him in twice now.
In a
I think you're having a Barry White whilst we.
probably. There's been a few of them tonight. Yeah.
It's been an absolute shit show of a podcast.
Yeah.
So who are you having, Jord?
Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes, but you, Dave.
I'll probably take Madison.
What? You'd probably take him. Of
Yeah,
course you would.
probably take him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else.
Tillemans? Nah, he's shit now.
Maybe one of the fullbacks, but I don't know how good they've been.
Pereira ain't got no knees either us anymore.
Justin or Thomas. I don't know if they're any good.
Yeah, just come back from injury. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Right. Sean Mitchell, night out in Wolverhampton. Where do you go?
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't is what I'd say.
That's where I went yesterday. I'll tell you a very quick story. So we started in Codsall, ended up going uptown to Weatherspoons. Moon under the water, you start the pre-drinks there, cheap drinks. Got the Bouncer Bros on the door on TikTok, if you know, you know. And then we were going to go to Grain
You hug
Store.
them when you go in.
Have selfies with them. Yeah, Grain Store. Now listen to this. So I'm in decent pair of jeans, trainers, black Nike polo shirt. So it's just a plain black polo with a little Nike logo there. With my mate who's wearing a black hoodie. He goes, "Oh, no sportswear." I said, "What in with the hoodie?" He goes, "No, you," because I had a Nike logo. So I'm looking. He's wearing a hoodie, but he could go in. But I'm wearing a polo shirt and I can't. So we left there and I went to the Billy Wright. I'll never step foot in that pub ever again in my life. And then we walked, as I was going back, we walked past Grain Store and the bouncer called me over. And he says, "I can ask the manager now to see if he'll let you in. You know, because, you know, your polo's not that bad." I said, "Nah, mate, you're all right." Because he knew who my brother was. He goes, You're Isaac's younger brother, aren't you?" I said, "No, mate, I'm his older brother." So I set the tone straight away. So ended up in Pot World. Yeah. we ended up in Pot World, which I would not recommend. So yeah, I probably should avoid Wolverhampton, to be honest.
Yeah, well, very concise. Jord don't really go out in Wolverhampton, do you? So
Nah, it's since Blast Off shut down, you know, the heyday, that was it. Blast Off and cheeky monkeys, that was it.
Who's got a story about Blast Off and Tim Spears? Someone did. Was it you, Jord?
No, it
Yeah,
was
it's
me.
me, yeah.
Is that one
I've
for
got
the
one with Tim Spears as well.
Yeah.
No,
What was yours?
I'm trying to think about it now.
Didn't one of your mates try and chin him?
No, that was me.
That was Dave.
That was me. Yeah.
You tried to chin him.
No, I didn't try and chin. He didn't fucking batter me.
Breaking news.
Athletic exclusive. No, one of our, you know who he is, Matt, as well. He just mouths off at everyone. He's had a drink and he's one of them. And then everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's Tim Spears." And he goes, "Who? Him?" He started giving him the big one. So yeah, and then I think his missus, Tim Spears' missus at the time, swilled my mate. So
why are people bothered? Tim's a good, nice bloke as well, man.
yeah.
Tim's a geezer.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how tall he was.
What was your story, Jord? Or is that
He was,
is that a live show exclusive as well?
No. It was the last Blast Off was at the Hangar, I think.
Yeah.
Or one of them, and he was there, just 2 bottles of Jack's, just giving it some on the cobbles. He was just there, like just dancing around. He loves it though, mate. Tim.
Yeah, he's class.
He was in there every week. He was in there every week in the heyday. So yeah, I ain't got
Bit of a
bad
dark
to say about
horse.
him.
Yeah, a bit of a dark horse. I think that's all we've got time for this week. It's been an absolute pleasure, boys, and finally be able to confirm our Premier League safety as to what's felt like the longest season ever. It's been a bumpy ride, and I'm glad we've found some resolution. Plus, the Albion staying down is also a big positive. I think they're going to be in a bit of financial ruin now.
Good.
Whack whack.
Has anyone seen Adrian Giles? Frank Skinner.
Oh, superb. Gent, it's been a pleasure as always. Dave, where can people find you should they wish to follow you?
It's at Dave as a Party on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. And if you don't want to watch the Champions League on Tuesday night, you can always pop down to watch the Wolves women in the Midlands Cup final, or whatever it's called, in Stourbridge ladies. I'll be there anyway. I'd prefer to watch that over City Real Madrid, obviously.
Yeah. Jord, where can people find you should they wish? And also, just an apology from me from the comments earlier, and on behalf of Dave. They're not thoughts of talking Wolves, but of views of my own. So
that makes it much better.
So only you think, only you think I'm a fat bastard then.
No, that's probably not the case.
But... no, probably not. So yeah, Jordan was 7, Twitter and Instagram, and on the famous LinkedIn, Jordan Russell.
Wonderful stuff. I am Matt Cooper. M Cooper writes on Twitter. Matt Cooper writes across all of the socials. We are talking Wolves across all platforms, including the most important, LinkedIn. Do drop us a like if you've enjoyed the video. Comment down below what we're going to ask people to comment down this week. Favourite place to go in Wolverhampton?
Can do, yeah. I don't think there'll be many comments.
Home. And yeah, if you have enjoyed the video and you've not yet subscribed, please do. We really do appreciate it. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Music, we're not asking for a lot, but a 5-star review would be fantastic. You don't even have to. You can leave a comment if you want, but the comments don't mean anything. So you can put literally anything in the comments as long as it's a 5-star. It could be, this is the shittest podcast I've ever listened to. So if you want to do that, you can. As long as it's 5-star, we're not really fussed. But yeah, Wolves are safe. We're happy. And until next time, take care and enjoy yourselves.